G'day mate, and welcome back to Ixion with me, Jetty. I figured as we started chapter 4 with having to deal with the Pinasari, we'd end chapter 4 the exact same way, with having to, say goodbye to the Pinasari. Today we're going to be firing up the engines.
Population transfer.
Okay, lady, can I talk now? Thank you. We're going to be firing up the engines. We're going to be moving on to chapter 5 for our final chapter. It's the final chapter of the game to finally find out whether we can colonize Remus or whether something goes bad between here and there. At the same time, I will ask you, as always, could I borrow a like? Because I said at the end of last episode, I was going to wait till I had 5,000 population. As you can see, I don't quite have 5,000 population, but I figured as we're approaching the year 2020, there we are in the year 2020, I figure it's time to get out of here because nothing ever went bad in the year 2020. As for the interior of the ship, nothing's really changed. The only thing I have done is I've rearranged the ships and the docks. You guys don't really care. And I've stopped mining carbon because I turned this one on to carbon to try and get more carbon for when we had to make the Faraday cage, and now it's full of carbon. I want to get rid of the carbon. I have also rearranged this little section to move everything out of here. We're trying to get all the cryopods into Sector 1 and defrosted and that sort of stuff. It's pretty much it. Oh, and we do have 5 science ships now. Yeah, I went a little bit nuts with that exact port right there and put in 3 more science ships, plus we already had 2. So, science. With all that said, let's fire up the engine and let's move on to chapter 5, and with a mass recall of all the ships. Yeah, we've heard. I should mention research. Not really. I have got 2 of the probe
engine ready.
As you can sort of see on the right hand side, I've got 2 of the probe upgrades. We went with the plus 40% and the plus 80% extra probing area because we're off to a new sector, so we might as well have a little bit of an advantage. And let's be honest, like I said before, I can't really be bothered. I just fire probes out, and as long as I hit something, I call it a win. Now, I do want to mention these little cutscenes. I love these cutscenes. They're actually generated in-game, and we can sort of see. Well, we can't see anymore, that's for sure. But you can see things that I've done inside the ship, like where I've put all the different docking stations and probe ports and all those sorts of things that transition from the inside of the hull to the outside of the hull, can be seen in these cutscenes. In saying that, I'm still not a fan of this part. This part just needs to have something added to it, because this is now the 5th time we've seen it. And the first time, don't get me wrong, it's amazing, it's awesome. The second time, it's still pretty impressive. Now we've hit time number 5. I'm happy to talk right the way through it because we've seen it. We've seen it enough times. Yep. All right, well, we arrived at a planet. That's a good start. That's also a good start.
Running preliminary diagnostics.
Sure.
I sense Remus.
That's exactly what we're looking for. Finally.
Structural failure of the Tiqqun is near.
I don't think so. I'm doing a pretty good job of keeping it repaired. That's what I mean. Like this is my docks right there for multiple ships. That's Sector 2 right there. Okay, research. We don't have a lot of research left to do, but there is probe speed increased by 50%. Construction speed, yeah. And we have 3 probe launchers ready to go, so let's find... Sure, point of interest. With the point of interest... Anywhere here? Somewhere here? There we go. And do I have another point of interest? I do. Okay, 3 points of interest. All right, with that done, we're going to take Gear, being our best ship, park them right there, and start this mission. Despite the interference from the intense cloud covers of Palestine, our probe is still able to detect unusually high levels of mercury on its surface. The planet's environment is toxic, but should not pose a problem for our teams. We've landed at Palestine near the highest registered concentrations of mercury. A huge river element flows over a cliff, waterfall in silver, and an ocean several kilometers away. I really wish, that sounds cool. I would love to see that in this particular picture, but then they gave us a picture of 2 people dropping sample containers into a very dirty looking lake thing and collecting samples, which is like their job, but I really want to see a waterfall of silver. Yeah, I gotta admit, so we can locate the source of the river, or we can establish a meteorological analysis infrastructure. We're going to start with the source of the river. That sounds like a good way to go. At the same time, I am going to send Nobel, who is a level 1 ship, to go start collecting some science, because I want to get as much science as possible. At the same time, these are all level 1s as well. We're going to fly to the Ilia system, to the Ilia star itself. Not for any reason apart from it's closer to, closer to the 2 items we're probing. We'll send out some random probes to find some random materials so they can... Why are they red? They shouldn't be red, not unless there's a dangerous thing we're sending the probes into. Yeah, we're going to send out a couple of the ships just to... They've rearranged their order. Awesome. When they collect science, that is when... moving. Ripley is standing by. You can go there. When they collect science, that's how they level up. Not by doing the events, but by collecting science. So we're going to come in here. We have the team of gear discovered a source, a huge lake of mercury, from which the liquid metal flows. During the survey efforts, Brazil Marcel, with a name like that, I'm not surprised you fell in a lake and seems to have ingested a large quantities of the mercury. How are you in a full spacesuit and ingest mercury? Oh my gosh. Okay. They were saved by the team, but the mission reports detail how Marcel experienced multiple hallucinatory visions from the exposure. Marcel describes witnessing UN attacks on the Dolus infrastructure, wars and famine sweeping across Earth, massive crowds being crushed together, fleeing from deadly mobs. Dolus security protocols recommend Marcel be transferred to an infirmary immediately. Look, you're an idiot. You managed to ingest mercury whilst in a full spacesuit. We're gonna go and do the meteorological analysis infrastructure, because why not? We're gonna send over... Actually, we're gonna send over... So you have no resources, you have no resources. We're gonna send over... Digress, they're both 53. It's super close. We're gonna send over Diogenes. Because it's super close, and why the hell not? Alright. At the same time, more probes. We can fire one to there. We can fire one to, say, here. We can fire one to, there. Yep, just send out all the probes. Plus, we're trying to get these guys here. There should be... So, Scout is orbiting here. And you now have somewhere to go to. And... Where are you, Palatine? Faraday. We're going to send over Faraday as well, because it's going to be closer to this. And actually, is there not a... Yeah, we haven't got that one. Science ships move 30% faster. That sounds actually like a useful research. Alright, probe launcher. Probe construction speed is increased by 100%. Sure. I really wish I could get a longer research cube. 2 items is not enough. Okay, so you're getting materials in Paul track. First readings from Paul Tarek. Yep. Reveal the planet to be a gravitational aberration. Potential sites for analysis have been located. Exoskeleton technology will allow our team to begin planetary exploration. It sounds good so far. Fragmented transmissions from the Ripley crew are coming through at an extremely rapid rate. They say they've arrived on site and have been waiting for instructions for several cycles now. That sounds like time dilation. So we have intrusive analysis, which is use explosives, get in and out quick. Then we have a temporary study center. And then we have the advanced study center. And you may notice that this has no time and this has 0.3. Normally, it's like 2 cycles and 3 or 4 cycles for these 2 options. So I am going to guarantee there's time dilation here. And we're going to do this one because it's going to mean they're in and out quickly. Control explosions brought many samples to the surface. Study the environmental conditions. Has confirmed Leo Frow's work on periodic waves and matter arrangement. Doesn't really help us. It doesn't confirm that there was time dilation. Time dilation. Okay, so who's it?
Science ship has arrived at its destination.
Location. Nope. Destination. Okay, we're gonna fly you onto there. We're gonna go to numerator. Alright, despite the low average temperatures of Numerator, abnormal heat zones have been detected in the gas planet's atmosphere. We've entered Numerator's atmosphere, opaque and crimson. It makes spotting anything here difficult. Extreme pressure recordings have been recorded near the planet's liquid core. We await study instructions. So we have, as I said before, like a couple of cycles and more cycles to do the more advanced. So we have invasive analysis. We're going to take explosives and throw them out the window and see what happens. We're going to use specific analytic tools, or we can set up a floating research center. We're going to do that one. We're going to send in good old Santa Slay, who has a carrying capacity of 58, which still means it's going to take him 3 trips. But, you know, it's a start. Okay. And that didn't close this window. That's really annoying sometimes. All right. Probes. Can I throw a probe? I don't know. There, a probe here, and a probe here. Okay, so I want to look at Sector 2. So you're the one being loaded up. And the issue is you just have too many resources. Okay, and I have silicon in here because I've rearranged the ships. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn off silicon for a little while, and that way hopefully we can process through this, because it looks like they just can't get enough steel in here because it's full, which is annoying, which means I regret using this ship.
A probe has completed its scan.
Alright, so we have ships here and ships here. Alright, Numerator is waiting for materials. Lupacell. Scan analysis of Lupacell have provided some unusual data. Planet is home to numerous anomalies and high levels of carbon allotropes. Yes. Luminal's atmosphere is very thin and toxic. Visible particles hang suspended within it and move in the light winds of the planet. Impressively vast coins of diamond encrust Lupacell's surface. The thin atmosphere will provide little protection. We've chosen a study location that rarely experiences direct exposure to Ilia, that's being the sun, the star of the system. Exactly what I said. Any increase in Lupacell's surface temperature could jeopardize the team's safety. I don't see the surface temperature going up, but we're going to send over a advanced infrastructure, and you are currently transporting resources. So I guess I have to use Lucian, because that's the only ship I have available right now. Because Diagress is doing the one right beside us. Santa Slay is doing the second science mission. So you'll have to be a 3rd ship, which means that port that I was just looking at needs to have even more steel, and now microchips being put into it. Yeah, so I need to have this empty, which means we've turned off you. Actually, can I do a docking bay? Everything can become storage. That should fix some problems. Alright, probe launcher. We've done those 2. We can have probes move faster. Sure, why not? And so Ripley is Bulltech standing by. Oh, and Remus has been activated. I was hoping not to activate Remus. Alright, we're going to send you to there. Nobel is sitting around at Palatine. I'm going to send you over to Lupacell to pick up that science. At the same time, let's pick up and probe that. Plus, can I probe that? And can I probe... Where are you? You're right here somewhere. That. Alright. And I am going to go to a nice quiet sector, yeah, and we're going to let the lady talk whilst we look at science, because I am just going to pick things. I need to find something to pick. We'll do that one, and then we'll do that one. Okay.
Greetings, people of the VVS Tiqqun. I am Agora of the 3rd generation.
Hi! 3 generations already. Wow.
Know that you have been searching for Remus for a long time. However, we have established a delicately balanced ecosystem here on this planet that cannot suffer your presence.
Okay, we've been told to leave already.
We remember Dolus as our first and closest ally, as the one who made the Neocon Parsheville teachings visible. Pioneers of genetic conatus, you have suffered repression, persecution, and extermination.
Yeah, pretty much.
In memory of the doors you opened for us, a far common past, it is our turn to open the door for you. There is a way for you and your crew to join us. You may be a part of our community. Shape it. We will no longer be we. You will no longer be you. We will become us.
Sounds like there's going to be some mating going on.
To happen, you will need to be genetically optimized for life on Remus.
Oh, that's not what I had in mind.
We will incorporate your genetic heritage into our society. You will follow the elder process my predecessor applied to us.
Does not sound fun.
You will be adapted to the planet's gravity. To photosynthesize,
We're going to turn to plants?
you will live in symbiosis with Remus.
Sounds very touchy-feely.
Let me be clear. Humanity's mistake has been its attempts to transform ecosystems, to deny its place in them. We do not terraform, we change. We are not intruders. We are a crystalline part of the ecosystem. You will live longer and work according to your abilities and passions.
Sounds very
Our
communist
beliefs
as well.
Guide us with pragmatism, intellect, empathy, and with sensibility. We have no other interest than to follow genetic conatus.
Conatus sounds good. That sounds like a great fun type.
The new cradle of humanity. Trust in genetic conatus. We followed a self-similar pattern.
Okay. They are, if you remember all the way back to chapter 0, that little ship that had the food on it that you went and grabbed, that is the Ashtangite, led by the crazy French guy who was a philosopher, also a lobbyist. Yeah, that was a weird, very weird job description. Okay, Naomi Protocol, commencing DDoS attack to flood Eden Vigilance Network. Blah, 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 blah. Hang on, let me see if I have a translation. I can do the translation for a change. Design the PA to be neutral, rational extensions of our administrators' personalities. Yes. Don't know what the hell that means. Administrator, this is Pelagelia Andreeves of the Sector 1 Scientific Syndicate. We've moved the Scientific Syndicate to Sector 2, just so you know, you're in the wrong sector. We've taken the liberty of overrunning the DDoS protocols in order to contact you. We did some analysis of Eden after she was attacked by the Pasari PA. We've unearthed some interesting files. Information on Remus and numerous colonization protocols were present in Eden's database from the beginning of the Tiqqun's mission. That is not all. We discovered details on another viable exoplanet within the Ilia system, the planet Romulus. The planet has been masked, so it doesn't appear on any reports you receive. We've put in place a Ministry of Countermeasures, and we encourage you to send a team to the planet. I've heard you. Alright, so we have Romulus and Remus. We need to pick one of these two, and we will pick one of these two. Meanwhile, can I... No. Alright, we'll find the ships in a minute. Alright. Palliative. Almost all of Palliative's weather systems have been infiltrated by Mercury. The resulting dense and toxic cloud cover would not prove conducive to development of any life or any potential colonization efforts. Repatriate the gear and put that person in the infirmary. Okay, gear should be back. Back to Tiqqun. Great. And then we can send you... Bad person who... No, he's back on the ship. Alright, I'm going to send you to Vulcan. Alright, meanwhile, Numerator. After several surveys, the team of Scout discovered the existence of a second, much smaller, denser core of Numerator. Self-similar space particles also detected, and the team proposes that there is a correlation between the presence of these particles and the core's strong geothermal activity. 172 sites. That's a tiny bit. Okay. Lupercal. Sure. Large quantities of data have been sent by the team on Lupercal. They have identified the presence of Frow's Tiqqun on the planet, and their report contains great excitement about potential new discoveries. Volgerm theory and Frow's work on matter undulation. However, they have received a concerning message from the infrastructure's dedicated PA warning the team's behavior is becoming unusual. Dollar security protocols recommend the immediate conclusion of the mission. But science! Faraday's team will continue work until they arrive at a satisfying conclusion. But science! Yeah, okay, 3 more cycles. Alright, so numerator, you are not stuck. We're going to move you onto there. You are flying. Nopel is there. Numerator is... So Ripley's picking up science. And Nobel, Faraday. Okay. We are not going to activate Romulus or Remus just yet. I want to leave them for a little while longer. I want to make sure there's no other points of interest. No. Okay, what we're going to do is we are going to scan for resources randomly, and I want to finish these 3 planets. Okay, gear is moving. Can I... Alright. I also want to try and level up the ships because why the hell not? All right, research. We've done the Legislative Training Center, not with the Strengthening Center. Not that we have built one. We've done the DLS Center with the upgraded interface and priority to the workers, which only applies if you have the policies set to defrost the workers first and leave the non-workers till later. We're going to get the mushroom wool permanent moisture because why the hell not? I literally have nothing to spend science on. Well, nothing I need, at least. And that's about it in the tech tree. What else do I want to look at whilst I was in the ship? I don't honestly remember. Oh, we have an event. No, we don't have an event. It already fired off. Alright. That's pretty much it. Do I want to fly Tiqqun across? Not really. Not just yet, at least.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Aventine! Okay. Preliminary data contains many inconsistencies. Aventine emits a large amounts of particles that are not supposed to be detached from atomic structure. Although these emissions do not appear to pose any physical danger to our science team, theorized psychological impacts range from the unknown to the disastrous. Door security protocols recommend extreme caution. Nah, we're not doing that. We've landed on the planet. A powdery layer of yellow sulfur covers Aventine. It falls into the many crevices strewn across the planet's surface. The interior of the hollow planet is revealed through these fissures, which offer a spectacular view down to the core. It's unlike anything we've seen. Pillars support the planet's surface, reaching up out of the central, perfectly spherical core. Like a metallic seed, it seems to absorb the rain of the powdered sulfur that falls down upon it from above. We're going to start with the surface, because that sounds like the safer deal. We'll start with samples from Aventine. Obsolete in such an atypical particle, the team will have to adapt. Sure, what could go wrong? And Vulcan, nobody's made it to Vulcan yet. Okay.
The probe has completed its scan.
Yeah, probes are completing scans, and as fast as I can fire them, new ones are being made, and we're literally just sort of trying to cover the area, make sure I have plenty of resources. Lupercal. Alright, at some point within its lifespan, Lupercal was exposed to strong gravitational electromagnetic forces, as well as nuclear radiation. The team has put forward 2 explanatory theories. The first identifies Lilia's transformation into a white dwarf as the cause of exposure. The planet turned into a sun? The second derives from the works of Fraus and Baraville. That's the French guy from the Ashtangite. It posits that the existence of one or more entities within self-similar space, entities that could or may interact with our material plane, would result in aberrations in the fundamental forces of nature. On the cusp of true discovery, the team has requested further time to be invested into the studies of Lupercal. Sure. Achieve the final outcome of the analysis. 3 more cycles. Right. Speaking of cycles, So we have you picking up science. You're doing the science. Well, one of you is picking up science, the other one's doing science. Scout is there doing that mission, and Gear has almost arrived there. So I need to take Ripley. As soon as Ripley's done, fly them somewhere to pick up more science. Okay, Vulcan. There are numerous electromagnetic disturbances on the surface of the comet Vulcan. First visual captures the planet's vibrant green tail. This is the team from the Gear. We've landed on the Vulcan. Proximity analysis indicates the comet is shedding large amounts of boron. Significant electromagnetic disturbances have also been detected. They appear to be similar in nature to those observed on the Rotanovsky comet in the Impending system. I've studied the disturbances, definitely. And that also means let's get the ship and let's fly it over there, because I'm curious now. Also, we get to see the pretty cutscenes with the ships flying. I love this. I do love this. I do love the fact that we get to see the planets and everything else in the background as we take off and fly past and do stuff. We're going to send out more probes. Due to their scanning range, it's sort of like you just throw probes at problem. And also the fact that I have 3 probe ports, that sort of helps things. We just, you know, fire them off non-stop.
Team has completed a task.
Aventine! Aventine indicates the
Administrator, a new request awaits your attention.
I'm talking. Game's paused. Shh. Analysis indicates that mass-defining particles that constitute the matter of the Aventine possess an altered state. The surface of the planet contains many isotopes previously thought impossible. Many of our theoretical models have been called into question following discoveries made on Aventine. Unfortunately, the planet's surface is extremely friable, making any longer-term exploration attempts unviable. Okay, but I didn't get any science. We just questioned everything. Okay, we'll go off to the core. Yeah. Okay, 21 science, and that is Ripley. Yeah. I think
People of the VVS Tiqqun, we have detected the presence of a BMS warship in the Ilia system.
Awesome.
The Burenacy has followed in the footsteps of your evolved race. We have no weapons, no military solution against such an enemy.
Oh.
To ensure the survival of this settlement in Ilia, you will have to find a way to silence them, once and for all.
Oh. Okay, so perilous.
Awesome.
Awesome. So what you're telling me is you guys are all peace-loving, nature-loving, and everything else, and you're all happy, and you have no way of dealing with your problems, but you would like me to deal with them for you. Okay, right. Vulcan. Crew ventures down into the crevasses of Vulcan, seeking the source of electromagnetic disturbances, entering a small cave full of luminescent boron crystals. We've stopped to take readings. Results seem to vary. Proceeding further in, we found a large floating grey sphere. Oh, we've seen these before. Similar to one found by the Gear crew. After liaising with the Tiqqun's scientific community, a number of controversial theories have been put forward and proposals made for possible experiments that might be attempted on the sphere. Debate continues. I've noticed growing fascination for the sphere among other expedition members. This is absurd since it's obviously only for me. Oh wow, okay. Alright. We'd analyzed the sphere whilst on strict psychological surveillance, good idea, perform suggest experimentation. So based on our previous interactions on the Rotanovsky, science of the Tiqqun have proposed a number of theoretical experiments that could be conducted on the sphere. These should allow for a complete mapping of the electromagnetic interactions generated by it. And Naomi Protocol allow the team to reign free and... Oh, and I have the translation that says, reconfigured to serve and obey. I don't like that, so we're going to go with analyze the sphere, because that is strict psychological surveillance. Let's do that. 2 turns. 2 turns. And yeah, we'll have to worry about you later. All right, Lupercal. We're no longer receiving transmissions from the Faraday system. Behavioral analysis of their final communications identified signs of unhealthy fascination and self-destructive tendencies. Before enacting what they referred to as the descent to other gods, the team transmitted the final packet of study data. Well, we didn't like that crew, but 575 science to go with the 300 science that we have currently. We're going to repatriate the Faraday. That'll at least bring the ship back. Cool. You're going to fly home. Meanwhile, what's that name of ship? The Ripley's going to go over there and pick up your science. Aventine's done. Team Scout has had great difficulty establishing a static protocol for the planet's core. After multiple attempts, the conclusions indicate that the huge central sphere interacts with elementary particles, including bosons and Frau-Staticons, in a selective and unpredictable manner. 10 previously unknown elementary particles have been identified. Data from the Aventine core analysis will pave the way for new scientific and technology models for years to come. Okay, we're going to leave the planet. All right, so you... Vulcan? I want Aventine. So you're going to level up by getting some science. We're going to throw off some probes, because we might as well. Let's throw a flash. There we go, hydrogen. And... whatever that was, I'm not even paying attention. I just green bar fire. All right, so you're done. It's just the Vulcan left. We still have Remus and Romulus, which we'll talk about in a second. And okay, Aventine. Who's it? Aventine.
An accident has occurred.
Aventine. You can go over to Palatine.
The crew's trust in your leadership is falling.
Why? I don't think it is, actually. Oh, wow, there's a lot of events. Okay, so where is this event? Minister, everything confirms the sad truth. The Pinasari has followed us to the Ilia system. That is actually a really, really cool picture. I wonder if that's how the self-similar space Ixion travel looks. If you're on the receiving end, like if you're already in the system and the ships show up, it looks like them shattering through, well, a sheet of glass. Okay. Ooh.
I am not dead yet. I will feed on your pitiful community. I will build my rebirth. Are you ready for your simulation?
Okay, he has some serious problems, and we're out of power because they had a breakdown. Now, funnily enough, if we look at nuclear power plant, we have three-factor authentication, which means accidents no longer happen in nuclear power plants until they do. Research, mushroom wall, sure. Insect farm, totally. We'll do that. Yeah, we're just going to fire up another nuclear reactor. I just don't care. I don't care. Resources-wise, we have 1,500 hydrogen and counting. Yeah, we're not short of resources. There we go. All right, that was the other one I was waiting for. Enemy protocol, hacking subroutines. I don't actually have a translation for that. Editor Jetty, now's your time to shine. Okay, Administrator, this is Pengal Andrev, yep, of the Sector 1 Scientific Syndicate, which is actually in Sector 2. It continues to block Romulus despite our countermeasures. I won't beat around the bush any longer. We need to shut down Eden. She's altering the data presented to you as well as the data the crew members exchange with each other. You've probably noticed this already. Yeah, we had the blue text for the house. That's happened more than one. Well, that happened once because it was blue, but there's been a few things. Yep. Eden obeys the principles of Dolos, which today are probably more than a century out of date. Yeah, 2 centuries out of date, actually. She programmed to prevent us from reaching Romulus and making a fresh start. She won't deviate from the old dreams of the long crash corporations that brought about the lunaclism. She totally disconnected from what the crew, including you, have gone through and are still going through. We've successfully deposited a protocol for disconnection in the EVA airlock database. Please, Administrator, you are our only hope. Not Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's us. Okay, all right. With that done, let's do Vulcan. Applying preemptive monitoring protocols, Team of the Gear were able to counter any perceived negative impacts from the sphere, successfully sending several measuring devices into the sphere itself. Our team was able to collect a large number of unusually precise data sets. Okay. We're going to go with the suggested experimentation because it's worked out well for us so far. All right, we have, you are where? You're coming down here to collect science. You are flying to there to collect science. You are in the Vulcan doing the thing. You are, in theory, flying back. Oh, you're broken. You were meant to be repatriated, and you weren't because you're now broken. I can't fly you anywhere. Maybe it's because we were in transit. Okay, and Ripley is picking up the 370 science there to level the hell up. Meanwhile, the Pinasari is so slowly moving across the system. All right, we have 591 science points to spend on nothing. Mining ships. Mine 10% faster. Sure. Probe launcher. Probes move 100% faster. That's actually maybe useful. We've completed a task. What was the task? There we go.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Shh. This is the crew of the Greer. I don't know how you managed this, Minister. We have returned. We have been with the gear. Existing in ways that seem inconceivable to us now. Passing through a strange, solid, liquid, and gaseous lands, matter behaved in a pattern outside our acceptable understanding. Time was not linear. Days were lived where the chronological actions was not the same for every member of the team. We drifted in this Frausian morass, lost until we extracted by the Gears team. Our ship is now in orbit of Vulcan. Well, that's not confusing at all. Leave the comment. Okay, so we have gear and gear. One is at science tier 1 because they didn't quite finish leveling up, and the other one is the tier 2. We're going to send the tier 2 to here, and I can't bring you back still, not unless I fly the Tiqqun over there. I need to assign you a port, which may actually, if I unassign you, that'll bring you back whether you like it or not. We're going to put the gear in there. So Nobel's coming back because they don't have a port, so they have to come home. So we have gear tier 2, which is flying. We have Nobel, which is on its way back because all the crew disappeared. We have Faraday here picking up 500 science points. We have Scout over here picking up 22 science points. We have Ripley up here picking up 200 science points. And we have the gear. The other gear? We have the first gear, the original gear, picking up 500 science points. What we're going to do is we are going to fly to... I don't want to fly to either of these. We're going to hang out right here. We are going to look for science. We can do the other insect farm one. We can do I don't want to make probes cheaper. We can do 4 carbon air produces 5 polymer. Sure.
A new request awaits your attention.
Really?
An accident has occurred in the Tiqqun.
Okay, the scientific syndicate of Sector 1 has found a solution for the Pinasari problem. I'd love solutions to Pinasari problems. Now we've finally reached a viable exoplanet. The Tiqqun has no further purpose. The scientific syndicate proposes the following. As preparations have been made for colonization, the Tiqqun sector should be filled with batteries. Once they charge, the crew ready for exit, a flight path could be plotted for the Tiqqun to crash into the Pinasari. Igniting the stored power should be enough to destroy the BMS warship. Administrator, in the scenario where there is no longer any life on board the Tiqqun, I am authorized as PA of the station to lead it to its end. Oh, because we still have the PA active. I haven't shut down the PA. So we still have Eden active. Okay, understood. Okay, Eden is still active. Eden would fly the ship straight into the Pinasari and cause that problem to be sorted. All right, I still have too much carbon because that's still not working for me. And you... Really? I've got 1 pod left? That's just annoying. Oh, they're about to finish defrosting. Oh, except accidents. Okay. What I'm going to do is we're going to end this episode here. Yes, I'm going to end this episode here. Organized by Ants. Research is done. I'm going to pull Who is the least experienced ship? I can't scroll on that menu. I forget. We are gonna pull. Let's pull Grubber off. Can I go to Sector 5? Alright. Grubber, we're gonna Okay, after he's finished loading and unloading, not that he can really put it anywhere, we're gonna unassign Grubber, and we're gonna assign... Stop it. Nobel to there. That way they can pick up crew. Probably actually means I need to technically sector workers 4 to 5, shipping 5, because, you know, the last lot died off. We have 204 non-workers in sector 4, which means you should be going through a colonist training cycle right now, getting rid of those. We have, quick recap. We have 618 colonists. We have 600 colonists. We have 665 colonists. We have 716 colonists with another 200 in training right now. We have 398 colonists. We have 500 colonists. We have a lot of colonists, like a lot of colonists. Workers are fine between all the sectors. Happiness is 11, 10, 17, 7, 11 and 8, so happiness is not a problem. Trust is through the roof. Power is through the roof because I turned on another nuclear reactor and we just cranked it up to full power, because we don't really have a shortage of hydrogen. In fact, there is resources everywhere, and I know I haven't scanned a lot. Like, there's a lot more resources out there. But this is also intentionally where I'm leaving this episode, because we have the Romulus and the Remus. We need to make a decision in the next episode between which one we're going to colonize. We could colonize Remus and go with the Ashtangite. We could choose to go to Romulus and not go with the Ashtangite. Plus, we have a Perilous we need to deal with. Plus, on top of all that, we need to decide whether we're going to leave Eden active, which means we could go with Remus. Or if we shut down Eden, the PA, it means we could find Romulus. And if I can find Romulus, then I don't have Eden to fly the ship into the Penisari, which means it's going to remain a threat. I don't know how we're going to solve that. Also, we have, well, not a lot of research left to go. Like, I'm really running out of just even useless research to do. Steel mill, sure. Alloy deployment, why the hell not? There's an unknown tech here. There is 3 mining ship upgrades for ships to mine faster. There's 2 for the waste treatment plant that I don't need. There's the nuclear power plant, construction cost reduction. There's the 2 for the fire station that we just haven't built a fire station. And I have 940 science available with 400, 100, 2. So 1, 2, 600 science left. I have about 1500 science and not nearly that much research left. But I'm gonna leave this here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. Next episode, we're gonna go through one of the endings, because there are multiple endings to the game, and I really want your comments down below. Do you want to see all the different endings? Do you just want to see one of the endings? Leave me a comment. But with all that said, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. I will see you guys in the very next episode, in one of the endings. Anyway, that's it. I'm out. Thanks for watching. See you next one. Bye.